Siege for Year 9, Season 2, aka New Blood with the recruit operators. So we're going to start with the defenders, starting with Striker. Oh, sorry, Sentry. They both start with S. I get them confused. So we're going to mark Sentry as Thunderbird for now. Actually, we're going to mark Clash as a D tier. Clash is his ass. So Clash is D tier. But this is going to be Sentry's ping, basically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place Sentry at the B tier. I could see uses for Sentry because you can have impacts and nitro, barbed wire nitro. You have a shield with a nitro. You can have a couple little combinations that could be actually somewhat useful. So that's why I'd go Sentry at B tier. Mute, S tier, deny intel, shotgun, SP11, nitro, boom. Smoke in the current meta, still an S tier. I mean, I can't really play Smoke lower than that because Smoke is just so good at what Smoke does, locks it down. Doc, I think that's an easy A tier. MP5, ACOG, barbed wire, heals, always good. Rook is just a kind of a poopy version of Doc. I think Doc is a whole lot better. So let's talk about some of the nerfs that are coming to the next season. Fenrir. So Fenrir was always an S tier. With this current change, I think Fenrir is, honestly, still an S tier. Let me break it down. So before, Fenrir had 5 gadgets. At any point, he can activate 3. If one of those 3 are destroyed, he cannot activate another one because it was active when it was destroyed. So he doesn't get that code back. Okay? Fair enough. And when they're not active, they're bulletproof. New Fenrir only has 4. Only 2 could be active. None of them are bulletproof now. So you can shoot them whenever you want, whenever you see them, if they're even active or not active. But if an active one is destroyed, you do get the code back. So I think that's not really a massive nerf to Fenrir. I think it's more of a sidestep and maybe slight step back, but still pretty strong to me. I'm still banning Fenrir. And then you have the Solus nerf. Solus with an easy S tier, and honestly now I'm placing Solus at the B tier. I can see uses for Solus, like really aggressive plays, but with no impacts. The range is limited for intel gathering. It just made Solus a whole lot worse, and I don't see Solus being super strong anymore. Maybe in a comp situation, you might be able to make it work, but like the normal rank player, I mean, Solus is just kind of mini boo-boo. Bandit. Bandit, very good, but situational. Keeps wall close, you know, situational. So Yeg is going to be at a... I'm going to place Yeg at C tier because Wamai exists. And I feel like in the current meta, being able to place them on the fly, depending on how the enemy is pushing, is always going to be better because Yeg has to preset his stuff. And granted, that is good, but like it only works out occasionally. And with so many drones able to destroy his util, like, you know, you have Brava, Flores, Twitch, and they can't really move around, it's very easy to destroy ADSs. Well, my disc, sometimes you don't even know they're there because they're on ceilings, on walls. You throw them on the fly, throw them after they drone. So Pulse, situational, can be really strong, can be kind of mid. Really depends on the player on how you want to use that. Castle, again, situationally, can be extremely strong or can basically throw the round. Depends on who's playing it. Capkin, for the normal rank match, I've got to place Capkin at least at A tier. Traps that are going to take out enemies while you're not even in the room, I mean, that's kind of a massive W. And you have Nitro. Tachanka, I just don't really ever see a reason to go Tachanka unless you're trolling. So Smoke does Tachanka's job better. Smoke can defend himself faster than Tachanka when using his, like, it's just, Smoke is just better. Frost A tier, operator with a shield. Frost mats will be able to kill people if they're not checking. They even get kills in Pro League. Good gun, shield, shotgun to make setup, you know. Overall, decent kit. Valkyrie is always going to be an S tier in my mind. You can throw cameras wherever you want. If they don't, they have to spend time to look for those cameras, or you're going to have intel the entire round on them. And even if they do, you have an MPX with an ACOG. Sorry, MPX with a nitro. You don't have an ACOG. And 2-speed. Kavera is a lot of fun, and this is more of a counterplay op. but I'm still going to place Cav at D tier, but I'll place Cav at S tier in terms of fun. And this is not to say that Cav is always a useless pick. In fact, I'll do this because Cav can sometimes be a good pick if they're really rocking the Jackal with the roam clear and you bring Cav to counter pick because Jackal can't track Cav. There you go. Echo, depending on the squad, can be strong. You can drone your team around. And deny plants potentially. Decently fast, good gun, impacts. I mean, you can make some crazy plays with Echo. And you have intel, which is always nice. Mozzie. I'm going to place Mozzie with the Echo because, you know, you can drone your team around. You can stop their, you can take their drones. You have a Nitro. I mean, I can't really see Mozzie being higher than that. Mira, after the Mira nerf with the Ash destruction, you can destroy it face on. I got to place Mira at the A tier. Mira is extremely strong when she is backed up by other teammates' abilities like Wamai and Yeg. But if it's just like a solo Mira, it's, it usually gets blown out. And then you're a 3 armor with a Vector, with a Nitro. It's, which isn't a bad kit, but your entire ability just gets destroyed in half a second, which kind of sucks if you don't have backup. Legion, in the current meta, I gotta place Legion at S tier, even without his impacts. I just think Legion is the king at map control. Map, like, you have control of everything. You can put Legions all over, different doorways, entryways, staircases, and you know what is clear and what is not. I think that Legion is probably the best roamer in Siege, for me. Maybe Solus was for you, but, Solus now is gonna be a little bit worse. Solus is more of an aggressive roam. Legion is more of a defensive roam. Ella, C tier. Her ability is okay. Her guns are okay. She does have a shield, but nothing really is in that kit that makes me like scream. Ella is amazing. Vigil. I'm gonna place Vigil at B tier. Can be good in the right hands, but he is a fragger. Let's get this clear. If you're not shooting, don't go Vigil, or he is going to instantly be a C or a D tier. Vigil is a fragger. Bashi, SMG-12, or the K1A, SMG-12. I mean, most of the time you are going to be, if I go Vigil, I'm rocking Bashi, SMG-12. That Bashi's ability to put someone down to a body shot, it's like having a sniper rifle in defense. It is kind of nice. And then you have a really good, SMG backup, which is always good. Alibi, I'm just going to place Alibi at the C tier. Only one reason to go Alibi. You want the Storm, Bailiff to set up the site. No real reason to go Alibi otherwise. Almost feels like a travesty to put Ella with that operator, but just gotta do it. Maestro, current meta, his cameras do get hacked quite a bit, but I do feel like Maestro is fairly good. His LMG is really nice. Bailiff to set up the site. You're really slow because you got the the LMG speed nerf, and then you're also a 3 armor, so you're really slow. You do have impacts, but you do have 3 cameras. Let's say your team wants to ban Brava, potentially. Now you have 3 cameras that can't get hacked. That's the biggest counter is Maestro's cameras can get hacked. So, but, Maestro himself can just, impact his own cameras if they do get hacked. So it's not really the end of the world. Cade, easy S tier, don't even have to think about it. Best wall denial in the game. Two Brow, when paired with another wall denial, they become the best wall denial in the game. So Two Brow and his DMR is actually insane with Nitro. So boom. Warden, again, this is more of a playmaker op. If you're, in a situation where all the fire is going to come to you, flashbangs everything, you can just basically stop their push instantly and probably win the round. If you position the Warden correctly, it can be a game changer. So I'm going to place him at B tier because it really depends on the player, to actually make that play. Goyo, I would place Goyo at S tier, but I'm going to place him at A tier only because if the enemy team knows that there's a Goyo, then they start burning your Goyos pretty early with a Twitch drone or like early grenades or whatever. But like if Goyo's fire makes it to the end of the round, you basically easily win the round. So not bad having a Goyo, but it really depends if it can survive the entire time. Oryx can be really good for crazy rotations, but honestly, a lot of times it is what it is. Melusi, anything to slow them down. Banshees are pretty easy to deal with in the current meta. There's so many operators that have the ability to destroy them without much difficulty, but you have to destroy them. Like, comparing Fenris to Banshees, honestly, I think the Fenris are a little bit stronger, because Fenris, you can't really defend yourself. Banshees, you're still fine. You're just slow. Aruni at the... I gotta place Aruni at B tier. I can't really place Aruni at ARS because I just feel like Aruni's ability is kind of mid. Yeah, DMR, that's pretty good. Slow, and you can make rotates, but you know, it's just nothing that really screams amazing. Thorn, ability is kind of mid. You have to like the gun if you want to run Thorn. There's no other real upside. Thunderbird, C tier. I can't go Thunderbird higher because Doc exists, and Doc just does Thunderbird's job so much better, and the attackers can't steal them. And then Azami, still an S tier. Yeah, you can shoot them down, but that's bullets out of their gun. That's time wasted. That's, you know, you can swing their like they're shooting your walls. You can do a whole lot. And then obviously we talked about Clash being at a D tier. So, and this is Sentry. So, Sentry, B tier. And these are the defenders. Now let's get to the attackers. So we're going to start with Striker. So Striker is going to be marked by Sens because I think Sens is a D tier operator. Sens the D tier operator because the smokes are really easy to deal with. The operator is picked very situationally. The guns are kind of mid. Yeah, you have grenades. Yeah, you're fast, but Sens as a whole, like Ying, Grim, like they're just operators that are just so much better than Sens. Striker, I would have to say, as an operator compared to all the other attackers, is a C tier. Only thing you have over anyone else is that you can have double secondary gadgets. And not really needed for the attackers. I would place Striker higher if you are a solo queue player. Hard breach charge and EMPs, you can open up the wall yourself. Could be good in a solo queue situation. You know, if we're talking like that, could be better. But like, you know, picking Striker, you can make Striker work. Like, let's say I want to just really entry. Don't have to worry about any walls or any type of utility. I just want to focus on my firefights. I bring flashbangs, I bring grenades. So now I have a bunch of clear to, you know, clear whatever I need to. But my problem with that is, like, you have operators like Finka who brings heals. You have Ash. You have IQ to, like, they're just operators that almost bring about the same amount of utility, but also more utility. So Striker himself is, to me, is a little, yeah. I don't know. Now let's go to the normal operators. We have Sledge. And again, if you guys ever disagree with any of these guys, like if you want to raise the operator up or down, drop a comment, why, explain your point, and we can have a discussion about it. Sledge, I'm going to place in Sledge at A tier. I just really love Sledge. But, you know, Sledge being a 3 armor does make Sledge slightly worse because Buck exists and Ram exists. And, like, little Sledge's ability is just like, you know, just you're in way more dangerous Sledge than Buck or Ram. Ram, super easy vert. Buck, a lot more versatile. And, you know, super easy vert. Sledge, you got to put yourself in danger. Who's been a Sledge player and gets nitro through the floor? I mean, I feel like we've all been there. So Thatcher's always solid. Just, you know, anything on the wall, you're good to go. Unless they bring a 2 brow, then it's a little annoying, or they try to bandit trick you. But even then, Thatchers are really good when you're trying to push into a door. Sometimes they'll like throw like an EMP and run through Capcans to catch people off guard, just to be kind of a psychopath. Twitch, I'm gonna place Twitch at the A tier. I used to place Twitch a little bit lower, but Twitch's ability to like destroy Goyos, destroy other types of defender, util, Fenrirs, etc. There's a lot of utility that's going to be extremely obnoxious to have to deal with when you're walking through a door that Twitch can just destroy instantly. But that's why Mute's so strong, because it can stop those drones somewhat. Montaigne in the current fucking meta. Montaigne's an A tier. Montaigne's just not a super... I mean, Montaigne's a pretty self-sustainable operator compared to, let's say, the operator like, you know, let's say Blitz. Blitz, you're kind of in danger of getting your feet shot off over and over, but Montaigne, you can just, you know, basically put everybody on timeout, go full extended, and then you're just like, okay. I'm waiting for my teammates to get into better positions. And the pistols are pretty good. If you look away and that Monty puts the shield down or the Blitz puts the shield down from long range, they're still going to smoke you. Like, you can't ignore them and give them your back. Ash, I mean, I would place Ash more at the A tier, but Ash is the best entry in the game and the direct counter to Mira, and Mira is very strong, and Ash could literally instantly cancels off Mira. Brings a lot of self-destruction. Self-destruction is always good. Ash is, you know. Thermite A tier, and this is because this is more of a ranked playlist for you guys, because most of you guys play ranked, so this is playlist for you guys. Thermite, you're little in danger when you're using the breach, so using the breach inside the building when defenders can't swing you, when you're vulnerable, can get you killed, which is a little annoying. With Ace and Hibana being so much easier to use without dying, getting hatches, getting walls, it's just safer. Thermite's outside breaching ability is always the best, I think, because you just make this giant hole in their defense and you can just do whatever. Aces are more like, you know, distinct, smaller, but you can throw them on the you can just throw it up the wall and walk away. Hibanas, you kind of do have to line it up a little bit, but you do have a lot of uses and you can open up a ton of hatches. So IQ, I can't place IQ with the Blitz and the Sledge, but IQ is a direct counter to a couple operators. Like Valkyrie can be strong in the right hands, but most of the time, most people are going to find themselves picking IQ and not really using their scanner. Then it begs the question of, why aren't you just going Striker? Like, if you're not going to use your scanner, just go Striker and have, you know, your grenades, a gun, and maybe some flashbangs. Glass, situational up, can make crazy plays, but most of the time you're just going to throw the game. So DMR is not super good because Kali is one of those operators that to me is a sleeper pick. That Bolty, if you can aim with this gun, a body shot downs at like basically any range. It's pretty nuts. And you have a good backup SMG, that's Clash's gun, that, you know, you can use when you're getting up close. And, you know, Kali is pretty fast, so when you do need to get up in there, you can catch a lot of people off guard. Sometimes I'll be on an angle for like 30 seconds. People know I'm Kali, and then they're like holding positions for me to walk in, and then I just swing in with a secondary like I'm Ash, and then catch someone completely off guard. And you do have long range destruction, like you can counter a Mira in seconds, you can destroy utility, you can burn Lamais, etc. Fuse, I can see uses for these three operators, but Fuse is an operator that like very, 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 very situational. Like, I just don't really see a reason to go Fuse over, let's say, going operator like Ram. You just open up the floor anyways. Going Fuse is like, you make people run around, but with Ram, you make people run around anyways, and you can shoot them. Fuse doesn't really kill people unless it's lower elo. This is a tier list, again, for high elo. Fuse could be better at your elo if you like silver or something, but, you know, overall, not a super good op. You're a 3 armor walking around on the vertical, and you don't really have much power to make that much vertical other than putting grenades through the floor that shoot randomly. Blackbeard, in the current meta, honestly, Blackbeard's pretty ass. He can be good if you got a really good shot and your entire game plan is to hold a certain angle just so you get that first shot off. But Blackbeard's gun gets out DPS by basically every defender, and you know that shield only takes 1 bullet. So Capital, in the more situational land, can be really strong. Smokes, fires, clear, gone 6. He has a Swiss Army knife of kit that can be used pretty well. You have a hard breach charge, you have a gone 6, you have smokes and fire. He literally has everything. You can pick Capital probably every round that you play in Siege and probably get different uses out of his entire kit and probably do pretty well. Jackal A tier, I think is really good for the realm clear, but can only clear 1 person at a time, but is really good at doing that. Dokkaebi, you can sit outside on your ass and hit the activate button, and you call everybody on the map on the enemy team, and people with decent headsets are going to be able to hear you fairly easily. So it's pretty skillless. This is why a lot of people ban Doke, because it's very fucking annoying to have to deal with. Dokkaebi's ability in Siege is going to be S+ to me because that ability is stupid strong. Finka. I can't really place Finka here. I love Finka. I'm a Finka main, but I'm going to place Finka at the B tier. Situational op. No one ever says no to more heals during a round, especially if you have like a Montane player healing that chip damage. You can heal everybody on your team by 60 health, and you can overheal yourself before you take firefights. And your guns aren't bad, and you have grenades for clear. So Ying, probably the best opener entry in the game. You just start the execute, you throw flashes everywhere. No one can really do anything besides maybe the warden. Sophia. Play Soph here. Swiss Army Knife of Util. I just don't like how slow Soph is when you're considered an entry, which is kind of annoying. So, Lion. If you drone somebody out, you activate the Lion scan, they can't really move, and then everyone can just swing the guy. Lion has good guns, grenades. I mean, really good for a roam clear as well. Like when paired with like a Dokkaebi, Jackal, etc. You can scan them. So let's say you Jackal scan somebody and then you Lion call. They're going to get like double scan, which is going to be super obnoxious for them. So Maverick takes a lot of skill to use. So it's going to be right in the middle. Situational op. Takes a lot of skill to use right, but can get through anything on his own. Guns are good and he's fast. And his flashbangs for an entry after he goes through the wall, but you got to be real careful. Nomad, I'm going to say A tier. Best flank watch in the game. Put an air jab down. They can't really walk by it without getting knocked on their ass. And then, you know, it's very loud and you hear it. Gridlock, second best flank watch in the game, but brings a little bit more kit than Nomad in my eyes. For the clear, you have a shotgun for making vertical. You have, I think Gridlock is the best flank watch for staircases. Nomad is the best flank watches for doorways and windows. So depending on where you push and what you flank watch you want, like pick each one. Like I'll go between Nomad and Gridlock depending on like, you know, if I'm holding staircase, if I'm pushing forward, I don't want them walking on my staircase, I'll go Gridlock. Or if you know, holding a bunch of doors and hallways, then I'll go Nomad. Knock. Easy D tier. Easy. There's only one time that I can realistically think of when to bring Knock, and that's just when there's an angle that is only held normally by a camera. Like Bank Garage. There's not that many situations in Siege where a certain spot is held by a camera besides Bank Garage and Chalet, like when they're holding bar. And you can just walk in through lobby door and walk up the fireplace stairs. Sometimes people are just watching that with a camera. You know, but like, you know, you're not invisible, you're not quiet. So each their own. You might be able to get some use out of that, but I think it's situational. Amaru, situational pick. You do not want to pick Amaru every round, but occasionally can be used to make some crazy, insane plays that are going to win you the round. Ayana. Entry ability is very low now. If you're going to pick an entry as Ayana, you might as well just entry as Nomad and just be the flank watch with flashbangs anyways. Nomad is a better entry than Ayana. Ayana's more of a support player with gathering intel with her clones and her EMPs, but not really entry. And, you know, I think Ayana got the kiss of death in my personal opinion. I just don't really see much of a reason to play her unless you're playing with a really elaborate team. Thatcher's banned, you need EMP impacts, and you want to drone a lot. So, Zero at the B tier can be really good. Probably the worst flank watch in the game in terms of like flank watch specific, like boom, boom, boom. But cameras are always nice. You can, you know, destroy mirrors potentially. You can destroy certain util with those cameras. You have a hard breach charge, which other flank watches don't have, and you have a pretty good gun. He has a lot going on. He has Gone 6 as well. He has a lot going on. He's a Swiss Army knife. You could probably play Zero every game of Rainbow Six Siege and probably do all right. Like, you have literally everything that you need to be pretty self-sufficient. You just hope to God that someone's watching your cameras. Flores, I think Flores is an easy at least A tier. He's A tier because he gets heavily countered by mute. But I just think Flores is so damn strong. Like, I kind of want to shift him to S tier. Because even if he does get his Flores, you know, blown out, there's always a way to snake him in. And then even after that, You have a good gun with flashbangs to work as an entry. So I gotta put Flores at S tier. I just think Flores is such a good op. Osa A tier. Really good for a sight hit. No other operator can do this besides maybe a shield with a smoke and with turning your back. But Osa can like put a shield down and someone can play off that shield and defend themselves while someone's planting. A little bit more aggressive. Honestly, I gotta play Osa at B tier. It's not a ton of situations where Osa is gonna be like that must pick operator. Like I can see all these operators being picked every round, S and A tier, and I don't think you're throwing Osa every single round. Seem a little ridiculous occasionally. Grim. A lot of times Ying is banned, so I'm gonna just put Grim at the A tier because he's a hard recharge for the hatches. His bees will clear out a corner, and if they don't clear out the corner, well then that motherfucker's gonna be spotted really well, where you guys can get some kills. He does have I believe he has a bailiff to make like rotates or lines of sight or whatever, and that hard recharge, and he's really fast. So Grim's pretty good, but I definitely think that Ying is a better pick than Grim. But a lot of times Ying is banned. So Brava, I'm gonna place Brava up with the Twitch because Bravas can be kind of annoying with how much intel there is in Siege. Brava has a good gun and a shotgun. And the cameras, honestly, I want to place Brava at B tier because Brava to me is more of a counter pick. Twitch is good all the time to destroy things quickly, fast, but Brava cams take a second to hack, and sometimes if you're doing that around the defender, they can stop it, and Brava can't destroy Miras. Brava is really good occasionally, but it really is a counter pick to something they're bringing. Like, let's say, you know they're bringing Maestra. You go Brava, hack his cameras, you know. Deimos. Deimos is going to be a B tier. He can be good. He can be good, but this definitely requires a little bit of teamwork and coordination. Wall banging people, floor banging people, pushing people out of positions. If someone's roaming and you don't want them to roam, you can just scan the person basically over and over and make the person run away in terror while actively calling them out without you really doing anything. So can be really strong. But definitely, I'd prefer to pick Doke or like Jackal or something over that. But if you need to work a little bit of vertical, you know, Deimos is your guy. Shotgun and that revolver, always good to go. This is my attacker 2 list for Operation New Blood. And for those that don't know, I've listed this as Striker, the new recruit that's going to have, you know, 2 secondary gadgets with like an M4 like Maverick or an LMG like Capital, you know. C tier. It is what it is. This is my tier list for New Blood. Do you guys agree, disagree? Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? Which operators would you move up or down? And make sure to explain why. Let me know. And that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like down below for more. Peace out. Until next time.